Alrighty, first deck. We're going to play Quicksilver Boros Legends, featuring Quicksilver Brash Blur, which is a 1-mana 1/1. If it's in your opening hand, you can begin the game with him on the battlefield. He has haste, and then you can pay 5 mana to power him up, put a counter on him, and he gains double strike. So mainly, this kind of is like our pseudo combo with Mox Amber, where we begin with this on turn 0. Turn 1, we play a land in Amber, and we have 2 mana. Ideally, we want to curve into something like Mary, Esquire of Rohan, which is a 2-mana 2/2 with haste. Has first strike if it's equipped, that doesn't matter. But whenever you attack with Mary in another legend, you draw a card. So that allows you, with Quicksilver, to swing for 3 on turn 1 and get another card in hand. Now, when we're playing legends, the main thing is, I was kind of attracted to the idea of just playing 4-ofs on everything, because obviously you want to see your strongest cards most often. But when you're playing legendaries, you also just don't want things sitting in your hand. So we did our best to find cards that share a similar role, but kind of do like a split between those creatures. So you'll notice like we're playing Skrelv, which can give things protection, hexproof from a color, and make it so it can't be blocked. But at the same time, instead of playing 4 of those, we're doing a 2/2 split with Zac Fair, which also you can sacrifice to give something indestructible. So that way, if we have a Skrelv on the field, we can still play Zac Fair and vice versa, where in other situations, we might have 2 Skrelvs, 1 on the field and 1 in hand, and then that second one is just stuck in our hands. So same idea. Brash Blur is obviously pretty quick, and it's a good mana sink later on, but we're also playing Kellen Trailblazer, just a 2/1 that when you can level it up, so when it hits, you get to exile a card and play it, and then you can pump 3 mana into it to make it a 3/2 double strike, which means you get 2 cards if it connects. Zergo Bellstriker is just a nice, 2-power 1-drop. Obviously, you can dash it to give haste. And then Kithian is a 2/1. If you swing with 3 creatures, you get to flip him into Gideon. And then 2-drop slot, like, obviously, Mary is a very strong draw to the legendary sub-theme. Along with that, we're also playing Inti to give us some card advantage. Same idea, though. We're kind of doing that 3/2 split so we can have both on the field. But the other main thing we're looking at is Flowering of the White Tree, which is a 2-mana legendary enchantment. Non-legendary creatures get +1/+1, but legendary creatures get +2/+1 and have Ward 1. So a very powerful Anthem effect, since our entire deck is legendary. And then, of course, Thalia is just a good staple card to have. Good against a variety of shells and just slows opponents down. We were originally playing Lurrus in the other version of this, but we're trying to go a little bit bigger here. So we went up to some 3-drops. I guess the main thing we're focused on here is going to be Adeline and Flage. Flage is just Flage, but Adeline at least grows as the board grows and helps kind of keep pushing damage through and widening our board as the game goes a little long. And then obviously it plays well with Flowering of the White Tree because all those tokens will be 2/2s as well. We are playing Flage as a late game thing, some life gain. You'll notice we're also playing a single Reno Glory in the sideboard to help with that. And then the other 3-drops, we're kind of just testing. We're not really sure of the numbers, but Boromir is kind of like a protection and hate bearer in 1. Vigilance, 3/3. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, we counter it, and then you can sack it to give all your stuff indestructible. The ring tempts you. And then Leonardo's a sneak card that could just become a big beater. Lightning Army of 1, which I think we played in Winota way back when. When it deals combat damage to a player until your next turn, if a source would deal damage to a player or a permanent player controls, it deals double that damage instead. It has first strike, so it can do some fun stuff with that before your other creatures connect. And then obviously Trample and Lifelink's pretty good too. Same thing, you need to be fired off of Reno Glory. And then kind of similar vein, we're playing Wrath and Leo, a 2/4 for 3. If it's the first combat phase of the turn, untap 1 or 2 target attacking creatures. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase when it attacks. So kind of stuff to just close out games in the 3-drop slot. But mana base, we're playing a couple Plaza of Heroes, which is also a decent protection trick. Target legendary gains hexproof and indestructible. Helps, smooth our mana out. We're just playing some red-white duels. Arena of Glory. We are playing 3 Aganjo, since most of the time this will just cost 1 mana to deal 4 to something, which seems pretty good. And then a single minus Tirith as well for additional card advantage. Sideboard-wise, hodgepodge of stuff. A lot of the staples we've been playing in our white decks. Deafening Silences, Fragments, Rest in Peace, the 4th Thalia. Lauren of the Third Path is good here as Enchantment Hate along with Fragment. Single Phyrexian Revoker. I think we can afford Magus of the Moon. Between the basics here plus Mox Amber, as long as we mulligan properly, I think we'll be okay. And then just a Meltdown for, like, Affinity and stuff. So, that's where we're starting. And let's give it a shot. Alright, chat. Game 1. Nothing crazy explosive, but a nice curve here. So, we'll give it a shot. Start with Kellen, right into Flowering of the White Tree. Hopefully. Opponent's on Jadantha, which makes me think Wizards or Jund. Looks like Wizards is the name of the game here. We're going to lead that right into a Flowering. Swing for 4. I hope he just tries to commit more to the board, but he might remove our Kellen. But that at least makes him spend some time doing that. There's a Quicksilver. We're just going to drop our Adeline. A nice 3-5 with Ward 1. We'll see if he's playing Flame of Nor. But obviously he can't kill Adeline this turn if he is. Seems like he might have double Chain Lightning. Or not. He just wanted to reduce. Bum, 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 bum. Lightning Army of 1 is pretty good. I think I just kind of want to commit to the board here. Now we have a 5/3 first strike lifelinker, which is pretty hot. The Ward 1 is really coming in handy here, boys. Okay, opponent scoops it up. Our slow start happened to turn out quite well for us. I think I just want to bring in the Thalias and the extra fragments here. There could maybe be an argument for Magus, but they're playing Chain Lightnings, so it doesn't really make sense. I would also assume they're playing Arcanist, so we might want, like, the Rest in Peace. But I want to stay pretty aggressive, so... don't really love Leonardo here. Flage is probably fine. We could probably drop a Leo. We have a lot of low to the ground 1-drops here too. Might just drop a Zach. Actually, we might just drop a Zergo. Let's keep the protection legends in. We'll do something like that. We could also shave off a little of the top end. But I think Lightning having first strike and stuff is kind of relevant. Kind of slow, yeah. Quicksilver, baby. Whoa, sorry. Try and get a Thalia down next turn. We'll see how not having, like, a lot of interaction in the main deck feels. Okay, double Ponder's good for us. Also, shout out to the guy using 2 different Ponder arts. Play our Thalia. Let's try and slow him down a bit. Hates how that does not have the extra lands. Neither do we, though. Which is tough. Opponent is pondering 3 times and somehow did not have his 3rd land. think he found it. Or not. Okay. All right, we're just gonna keep swinging 1. Chat, we're doing great. We're gonna try and fragment that and see what happens. Spell Pierce. So yeah, we might see that Rest in Peace a little more relevant than we think. Holy shit, a red source, chat. Also, I mean, Boromir's pretty relevant against Dreadhorde too. It just counters everything you cast, so that's neat. Second white source is pretty good. I think we'll go Kellen into Boromir. See a removal. Wizard Lightning. Doing better than I thought we would. Opponent's just drawn a lot of lands here. Probably better to get a Mary down, right? Get a card draw off of this. Nice. I would hope he drew that Giganta because he's out of creatures. And he swoops it up. Alright, chat. Alright. Kind of interesting start, because this does allow for a turn 2 Adeline if our Kithian lives. But we don't have any red mana, and our second land is also Naganjo, so it doesn't really help us that much. So I think we're gonna maul. Okay, fuck me, chat. Fuck my life. Alright, we're doing our best. We're trying our best, chat. Oh, God. Oh. Slow start. Well, this will be a good game to see how aggressively we have to maul again. I'll assume maybe this is just Black, White, Blink, or Esper Tetramos. Emptiness. Hot. I like it. I'm gonna throw Thalia down here. Is it worth me even attacking? Or would I rather just... I kind of just want to keep my Skrelv up, to be honest. That might be the first time we've ever had an emptiness casted against us. Okay, opponent looks like they're just on black-white. We'll play our Zach Fair, and now I'm kind of comfortable swinging We are stuck on one land. This Mox Amber is pulling some weight. Overlord's pretty good. Kind of feeling Ophelia coming if he decides not to cast the Emptiness here. Okay. So he's going to cast Emptiness. He's going to try and kill that. We'll sack to do that in response. He's going to eat my whatever. Oh, I was wrong, chat. For some reason, I thought that gave Hexproof, but it doesn't. That was my mistake. I punted. Okay, but we do have a 3-2. Still stuck on one land, though. Fatal pushes, pays the ward. We're stuck on one land. We can't actually play either of these cards. We'll see what we top deck, but we're gonna scoop there. Okay, so we mulligan what? We mulligan up to 6. Didn't feel good. I am actually real tempted to bring in Magus here. And I think we're going to bring in the Fragments. He is removal heavy. Fragment, Fatal, Emptiness. But I don't really know if Thalia is going to slow him down that much. I don't think these Leos are very good. I don't think Raph is going to really stick around that much. Zac and Skrelv are still probably fine. Zergo's probably fine. I'm going to drop a Flage. I'm going to drop a second Thalia, I think. Let's try something like that. So we lost, I mean, we didn't draw very hot either, but we lost to not having a land there, especially, which is something to take note of. I mean, turn 1, rest in peace. Does whatever. I know he's playing Tetramos, but at least this turns off some utility from Overlords and things, and whatever. We don't really have anything else relevant. But for a matchup like this, I feel like we probably want to lean on Flowering and our 1-drop protection creatures the most. But we also don't have a lot of protection against, like, board wipes and stuff, like Toxic Deluge or any of the other stuff. So let's swing. We can give Kithian Indestructible, which is nice. So we'll see if he tries to snipe it. He's going to Ophelia it. Okay. Take out the Quicksilver. Smack for 2. I don't even think Rest in Peace was needed. Juggernaut Peddler's a good one. What do you transform? His other Philia? I like that we get to see his hand. Give it to me. He also doesn't have to, it's just a choose, right? He doesn't have to take something. Yeah. Okay, flowering in the white tree is pretty good. Yeah. Could have played Mox Hammer to play Indestructible, but our hand has no gas, chat. Removal is going to be a problem, especially against frogs and Jund. Magus is cool. Not that it does a whole lot, because he has Philia anyways, but we're going to concede here, chat. Alright, chat. Not a big fan of these 4-land hands, but I do like Quicksilver. We might be able to cut. Okay, that was a good pickup. We might be able to cut a land or two. We're playing 20 right now, plus 4 Mox Amber. Might want to cut down to 19 or 18, because we're not playing that many 3-drops. Fear of missing out. You know what? I do have a fear of missing out, chat. Ooh, against Boros Academic. Okay, Mox is relevant. Can't really swing profitably. Might have been better to play Skrelv there. One's got Arena. Discards second Rootwalla and whatever. And then does nothing. Interesting. Let's play Plaza of Heroes and swing. And then that way, if he wants to try and trade out Kithian, we can just sack Plaza and give it Hexproof Indestructible. Oh, that's what gives Hexproof Indestructible. Not Zac Fair, chat. Not Zac Fair. Plaza. Plaza is relevant stuff. Okay. Wow. Opponent's really going... Okay, they rethought that. Yeah, I'm here for it. Cool. And then we can play our Skrelv. We're trying to avoid Fiery Temper and, like, some big old hollow ones here. He's also playing Arena of Glory, which... I mean, Arena's good with hollow one, but could also mean he's playing Flage. Most likely playing Flage. Artillery Enthusiast. It's quite good if he has a Fiery Temper in hand. Chat, you think we could play Stick Fearless Mentor in this shell? Or am I just daydreaming? I'm just daydreaming, boys. Bum, 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 bum. I don't know if... I talked about some of the concepts behind how we built that Stick Burn list. I don't know if they put it up yet on MTGA Zone. Okay, opponent got rid of a hollow one. No. I don't know, they're slacking over there. To play a looting. Which makes me think what? Okay, there's the offense, there's the Flage. He hasn't played a land yet, has he? I don't think so. I really like this deck, chat. These hardened academic decks are sweet. We're kind of just... What are we looking for? We're kind of looking for... Okay, Ganjo's okay. Is it worth me trying to flip a Kithian here? We haven't... I think so. Maybe. We also have the option to give Quicksilver double strike, depending on how he blocks. But we can Ganjo and then also... We snipe the hollow one. Is it worth me... Do I want to lose my Brash Blur? I think so. I don't think I care about a 2/2 double strike. But that should flip Kith. And then we could force him to attack. Or we could just give our Adeline indestructible. I think feels somewhat relevant. Is this just target creature? Yeah. Plays a Patriar Humiliation. I know we could have Skrelv there, but I think we might need an extra blocker. Humiliation's interesting to see main board. Maybe he just cast that strictly for the Flage. Seems like it. What's he gonna snipe? Maybe just us? Or he takes out Skrelv. Skrelv is another target creature, right? Yeah. Alright, so he snipes Gids. He has haste. I don't know if we're really beating a 6/6 ever. He's gonna take out that. We can block with Adeline freely. He also turned off Fear of Missing Out, which is nice. Bormir's pretty good. He also has a practice offense next turn. But he's just gonna outpace us with a life gain. Let's go game 2, chat. He's gonna outpace us. Okay. Rest in Pieces seem great. Fragment feels nice. Deafening Silence. No. Never mind. Maybe the extra Thalia. Just gross here, huh? We have trouble against interaction. We have trouble against any deck casting spells. Jesus Christ. Why is it give me hands like this, chat? I feel like our first couple days on stream are always like real fun, and then we just... Holy shit. Alright, chat, we're on a Maul to 4. We're never doing anything here. We're on a Maul to 4 with nothing. We still haven't lived the dream of Quicksilver into a Mary on turn 1. But this is a turn 2. Well, yeah, it doesn't matter if he kills either of those. This is going to be a turn... Mocks it! Chat, he's an Amber player. He's playing his Damios. Oh, God, chat. What a start. Chat, his deck's better than ours. Oh, no. Chat, what do I do if my opponent's deck is better than mine? Cry? And then I just cry. Oh. I don't know why he didn't block with Emery. But that's okay. We're in his mind already, chat. Tormod script. Here we go. Hello. Second Tormod script. What are we trying to do here, chat? Get a Kappa out? Kappa? Do you call it Kappa or Kappa? We probably should have played this Boromir, huh? And countered his Kappa. Oh, chat. That's alright. We can at least... Well, we might as well swing. Because we can at least give Adeline Indestructible off of Zach Fair. Oh. Is he going to take that trade? No. I wouldn't think so. Chip him down to whatever. We're at least safe from other Cannoneers for the time being, unless he decides to spend mana on them. Because he's a true gamer. He has what? Retrofitter, Krang, Mastermind. Opponent's drawn a lot of cards, chat. Turns off our tokens. Oof. The nice news is he can't loop with Retrofitter Foundry because his Ornithopters get countered by Boromir. But he can still at least get a 4/4 off of it, which makes swinging even with a Skrelv trigger a lot tougher. What are we looking for? What am I looking for? A way to get rid of Emery would be nice. Second Adeline's kind of hot. We could still swing with Adeline. He's going to make a 4/4, which means we have to sack the Zac to give Indestructible. But that at least takes out a 4/4. Oh no, because that's tapped and attacking, so we actually get around Tamio, which is nice. We'll see if he... Okay, so he does indeed make a 4/4. He blocks Adeline. We'll do a Sackaroonie here. Make Adeline into a 7/5. Trample over that. Hit him for 1. All right, chat, we're doing great. We're doing fantastic. Can't wait to get steamrolled in just a moment. Ticks up. He's gonna try and replay this Ornithopter. And Boromir counters it, which is nice for us. Let's hit him with a nice. So that's good. Also lets us trade out his Kappa Cannoneer. Unless he... Oh, he has enough to... Oh, no, we can still do something like that if we need to. He should have... I think he should have just made an artifact and swung. But now we get a chance to block. Plus we can sack Boromir. Could have, like, Floodmaw. Ba-ba-da-bum-bum. Sink into stupor. We'll pay the 1 to give this hexproof from blue. Okay, opponent messed up. We take wins like that. We'll take that, chat. I like Revoker here. I like Lauren here. I like Meltdown here. I like our fragments here. Another Thalia might be okay. Just to slow him down. But we're also siding in Meltdowns and stuff, so it's maybe. It's also Rest in Peace. Especially if he's doing a retrofitter loop too. And Tameo. I really don't want to bring in Rest in Peace against Affinity. That sounds gross. Drop the Leos. Let's drop Raph. How relevant is Flade's going to be here? Not super duper. Trooper. Strelva's okay. Don't love Kithian either. Let's try something like that, chat. See how we feel. See how we feel. Maybe we do have to just play a deck with 4 ofs. This is a good start, I think. At least gets us a turn 2 Adeline. Opponent also had quite a fast start, though, too, so. Turn 1 Tameo, hello. Spin him into an Ornithopter. Darksteel Citadel into an Emery. Okay. He is playing Unable to Stream and Dismember, which is interesting. Interlacer is also spicy. It's probably best if I turn off Emery first here, right? I have been liking Phyrexian Revoker more and more lately. Okay, so he has a Spell Bomb. I don't know if he'll bounce. Does he have anything relevant right now? No. I mean, he could bounce the Revoker and then recast Spellbomb and draw a card. Which is what he seems like he's going to do. Or he might just try and pop off this Interlacer. This is only from a color, right? Correct. It's not like Giver. So you gonna pop the Interlacer right away? Indeed he is. Okay. We might just have to get this Adeline down and start swinging. Unable to stream. You got it, Super Chief. We find a Rest in Peace. That's also pretty good. Not great, but good. This is only returning creatures, so we're safe for a second. Alright, Rest in Peace was somewhat relevant here. Opponent's just kind of chilling, which I think is pretty good for us. We find a Boromir, so I think we just drop the Adeline. Let's see if we might get rebuked. Okay, we get Stupid. That's better. He's gonna draw. Plays second Emery to do what? Just mill? What's the point of that? Third Emery. Okay, chat, he just has Emery's in his hand. Good for us. Beautiful. All right. Thank you, opponent. Love to see it. Now we'll play our Adeline. Okay. Opponent scoop step. No. Sure. Let's lead on Sprelf. Interesting. Okay, that's a pickup too. Let's just double up here, and then we'll try and land a flowering of the white tree and start beating down next turn. Turn 1 Temple Garden means what, chat? Spirit. Quite interesting. He'll flash something in? No. Okay. Quick start on our part. Opponent is playing Bant Spirits without casting Spirits. We're gonna bring in the Maguses here too. We keep siding out these Leos. I do not like these Leos in here. Not a fan. But that's what we're here to learn. I am tempted to go into a bigger shell with some of those 4-drops we talked about. This is turn 1 double thing into a flowering with fragment, but we have no... we can try it. Let's give it a shot, chat. Kind of an odd hand. Oh shit, we didn't get Spell Pierced? Holy shit, my opponent plays Spell Pierce. Against my mainly creature-based deck. Shout out to that guy. Thalia, hey! I'm playing Thalia. Chat, he can't also play Thalia. That's illegal. This is a bunch of malarkey. Oh, Drug Skull Captain. Fuck yeah. Shout out to my opponent. Do I want to swing? Not really. Dude, when was the last time someone played Drug Skull Captain? I haven't seen that since fucking Innistrad Standard. You think he has another Spell Pierce? No. If he gets a second captain, that kind of sucks for us. Swings for 4. Swings all. Which I think I'll let happen. Oh no, he has Thalia, so he can't have Coco Mana up. He plays second Thalia. Is that funny to Magus of the Moon him, chat? I think it's funny. All right, we're so good at this game, chat. We did die to our own Magus, but it's funny. We could have just fragmented Drug Skull Captain, but that's for losers. So do you think he had main deck Thalia, or do you think He brought that in against us because he's a cool kid. I'm gonna bet he's a cool kid, chat. You might say, Mr. Plum, Mr. Plum. Why didn't you play the thing that helps you further win the game? It's for nerds, chat. Playing good cards is for the bees, baby. Can we get like a fun Mox Amber hand? I will say our mana is very inconsistent. We're like all over the place. It's very odd. We've had to mulligan quite a lot and we go into like non-openers. Doesn't trade out my Kithian. Interesting. In that case, I think we're gonna snipe his Mausoleum Wanderer while we can try to. He might Spell Pierce again or just sack the Wanderer. Sacks the Wanderer. Get to swing for 4. We'd like another land. Chat, why did I do the fun thing last game and not just win? Reflector Mage? What is my opponent playing? This guy's got all sorts of fun stuff going on in here. It's like Bant Hate Bears. Second Phantasmal Image. I'm here for it, opponent. Bounce the Boromir. Swing 2. Hell yeah. That's also quite good. Maybe he has another one, chat. What do you think? Okay. Chat, we're doing great. There's a pause. Maybe Spell Queller. Indeed. Chat, this deck is not what I thought it was. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, opponent. My apologies. I didn't mean to BM. Fragment Reality. Second Spell Queller. No, he's winning. You think he has a Spell Pierce? No. Ooh, we got a Rattle Chains though. That's fun. I like Rattle Chains. So he's Bant Spirits, but maybe he's just siding into like generic good hate pieces. But I don't know if that really shores up the matchups you need it to. I mean, Thalia's pretty good right now. Okay, we're just drawing nothing but lands, chat. Chat, we shouldn't have fucked around in game 2. We fucked around and we found out. Alright. Not a great run. 3-3. I played 6 games. Kind of split right down the middle. Yeah, there's a couple of things I punted here or there, but as much as I like the idea of like these splits, like we mentioned at the beginning, I don't know, it just makes it feel less consistent. Like Zapfair and Skrelv did really well for us. I actually enjoyed Quicksilver, but we didn't have that many explosive hands where we like go immediately into Mary on turn 1 or something like that. Or like an Inti on turn 1. But and the mana problems were tough. What did I say we were playing? 20 lands plus... I feel like we can cut down to 18. Maybe we take out like a minus and a mountain. Play 18 plus the ambers. And then lower the curve a little bit. But, like, even though they're legendary, I think you still have to lean hard into, like, the cards you need to see every game. Like, if we're trying to be explosive, we need to see Quicksilver. We need to see this. We need to see Flowering of the White Tree pretty much every game. We probably want to see Adeline every game. Boromir was actually quite good. Our Affinity opponent didn't really read it, and I didn't even know he did that either until I read him and when we put him in. But he's a nice 3/3 Vigilance that just has some extra utility here or there. We didn't get a lot of use out of Kellen or Kithian. We definitely didn't get use out of Leonardo. I think this card is just getting cut completely. But Flage felt fine. I think Lightning's still worth it. Raph and Leo are okay, but I think Lightning's probably better. So maybe we just try a build where we just round out the numbers, a bunch of 4-ofs, and just see how it goes. I do like the Lurrus shell I was playing earlier, but Adeline and Boromir and Flage feel quite strong to have access to, especially in the late game. So we probably want to keep the curve up to 3. But yeah, just kind of some fucky mana. I don't know. We got to find a sweet spot for lands. Sideboard had a bunch of stuff that felt pretty good. I've been liking Phyrexian Revoker. I've been playing this in a couple other sideboards off stream, and this card's been kind of gas in these creature decks because it still at least chips in for 2. And stuff like that. But overall, it was okay. We didn't really see Mary or Inti in like any of those games, which is kind of crazy. We just saw like Zach, Strelv, Quicksilver, Thalia, and Boromir all the time. And all these other cards almost like never popped up, which is funny. But that's it for me on this one. That's my 2 cents. We'll probably refine this and give it another crack. But we're going to move on to another deck for the evening. But thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.